There's nothing nicer than walking into a polytunnel that's full of tomatoes growing. So let me show you how to care for tomatoes in your polytunnel or in your greenhouse. So my morning routine every morning is to come and check the tomatoes, and this is the part of allotmenting, growing tomatoes, that I really enjoy. I love growing tomatoes and it's one of my favourite plants to grow. So I love go around checking, seeing if there's any more runners, checking to see if there's any flowers, and checking the soil, whether it's too damp or not. So tomatoes can be planted outside in a warm sunny part of the garden, ideally in the beginning of June, but it's safer in a greenhouse or in a polytunnel. So as a morning routine, I like to come in and check my tomatoes. Nothing nicer than coming in, checking how the tomatoes are done. And the smell is amazing, absolutely amazing. And this one has just got some flowers. So there's two types of tomato. There's the bush tomato and there's the cordon tomato. The cordon will grow in one stem, and that can be grown up as a cane or up some string. In this example, I've got some string and I've made some holes in the ring, and I've tied the string at the bottom, and I've got a string going across the top here, and the top of it is tied to the string. So when the vine grows up, the twine gets twisted round, and once it reaches the top, we then chop off the top of the tomato plant, and then it will force its energy back down to the fruits. So as tomatoes are vines, they like to climb, and there's two ways of training your tomato. One is using strings, and you can wrap the root ball with your string when you first plant it, wrap around the root ball and then plant it with the string attached, and then the roots will go into the string. What I've done on this one, I've attached a piece of string to the ringo itself, and then I've got a piece of string going up to a main piece of string going across, and then the tomato plant, as it grows, can get wound around the string, keeping it so it's not too tight, so it doesn't strangle. The other option is to use a cane. Put your canes in before the tomato grows, so the roots don't get disturbed. All you have to do is stick your cane in. Once the tomato plant comes up, get your string or tie, make a figure 8, and then tie it off, and then they can grow up the pole. So in my polytunnel this year, I'm doing half and half. So the first half is up strings, and then the second half will be up some canes. So we can see how that goes. Once the tomato has got to the top of your string or to the top of your cane, it can be cut, and then the energy will be forced back down and will be sent towards the fruits. In my polytunnel, we're using these rings. I call them ringos. I'm not sure what they're actually called, tomato hoops. But these, you put the tomato in the middle, the soil can come up high, and then you water into the tray, and the water seeps through the small holes around the tray and then seeps down into the soil, so the stem doesn't get wet and the roots can go down looking for the water underneath. An alternative way is to do it in bottles. Another option is to grow in a pot with a hole in the bottom, so the roots can go straight down, and then you don't water in the pot. You put a bottle which is directed straight down into the soil, and it has a hole in the end, so the water in the bottle, the soil can go deep down, and then the roots, just water in the bottle and the roots will go looking for the water once it's drained underneath. One of the jobs that needs to be done daily is to check out for suckers, and the suckers are the little branches that come out into the armpit. These will grow, they won't produce fruit, so they're really not needed, so they can just be removed. Removing the suckers is an easy job, which can be done with a knife or a pair of scissors. Just cutting the sucker and discarding that. Keep twining, keep twisting the stem around the string, and it will grow up straight. Try to keep the soil of the plant evenly moist. If the soil is too dry, then two things happen. The skins of the fruit harden and then split. Also, you can get blossom end rot, where the fruit is black underneath and inedible. Once we have flowers, give your plant a feed once a week with tomato food, and that will give the fruit energy and nutrients it needs. So tomatoes need good ventilation, so during hot days it's a good idea to open any windows, any vents, or even open the doors and allow air to come through. So tomatoes can be grown in the soil, or they can be grown in buckets. And last year my buckets dried out quite quick, so this year we're doing it into the ground, and we're allowing the roots to get into the soil and then to go deep looking for the water underneath. Keeping the surface dry gives a lot less chance of having blight. So outdoor tomatoes, they normally grow to 4 to 5 trusses. So once they reach this, just chop off the top, and then it will send the energy back down to the fruits and make a better fruit, nicer and sweeter. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, ring the bell, get notifications when I post some more. Thank you very much. Keep safe everybody, and keep growing. That's all we can do. Thank you very much. Cheers for now.